The reveals for Age of Overlord are kicking into high gear, and we just got introduced to 6 new cards that are going to be coming out in here called the Hours archetype, not to be associated with the old Hours cards because these cards don't work with them. I mean, maybe they could, but not really. And it consists of 4 monsters, 1 continued spell, and 1 trap card. And it also works as a rank 8 engine that's like very generic, and these cards look amazing. So we're going to go through these cards right now, starting with MST Glory of Hours. It's a dark level 8, 3000 tag, 1800 defense, spellcaster effect monster. You can only special summon this card's name with its first effect once per turn. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If you control Pharaonic Sarcophagus, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. You could send 2 cards from your hand to the graveyard, including this card, add 1 Pharaonic Sarcophagus from your deck to your hand, then draw 1 card. If another card or cards you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect while you control this monster, you could send 1 card on the field to the graveyard. So what's really cool about this is that it sets up that Pharaonic Sarcophagus by sending this card and any other card in your hand to the graveyard to get that card activated, and now that you have that card, you can just bring this back absolutely free. I mean, it is another card that you have to send to the graveyard, but once you see the other cards that go with it, it's just like, it's really good free plussing, and I don't know, I just like it. And you do get to draw another card when you do send to the graveyard, so that also works out very well. It kind of replaces itself a bit. But going on to the next card, I'm not gonna lie here, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but we're going to call it Blessing of Hours. It is a water, level 8, 0 tag, 0 defense, beast effect monster. You can only special summon this card's name with its first effect once per turn. You can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. If you control Pharaonic Sarcophagus, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. They all have this effect, so you will be seeing this a lot. Gains 1200 attack and defense for each Hours monsters you control. If another card or cards you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect while you control this monster, you could draw cards equal to the number of monsters with different names in your main monster zone. So again, another level 8 monster that gets special summon from the graveyard. So if you ditch this with the MST, that's just 2 free summonings from your graveyard as long as you have the Pharaonic Sarcophagus. And I do like its third effect being able to like draw some cards. The thing is, I do kind of wish it wasn't destroyed by card effects, but I guess it kind of goes in tangent with what the actual Pharaonic Sarcophagus kind of does. But it is what it is, and it does gain 1200 for each of your Hours monsters. So I guess that's fine. It's just a little bit weird that it's not just have its own stat, but it is what it is. So going on to the next one, we have Happy Vanguard of Hours. It is a win, level 8, 2400 attack, 1600 defense, beast warrior effect monster. You can only special summon this card's name with its first effect once per turn. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. If you control Pharaonic Sarcophagus, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. If another card or cards you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect while you control this face-up monster, you can target up to 2 cards that are banished and or in the graveyards. Either add both to their owner's hand or shuffle both into the deck. So kind of cool recursion there, being able to just like recycle cards that are from the graveyard or banished, or in the graveyards. You can just add it to the hand or to the deck. I don't know. That's kind of cool. And when I get to the end of the video, I kind of see this deck this little engine kind of mixing with another archetype, but mostly because I might be in the copium there. But this is actually kind of cool. I like it. It's got that recycling and just putting monsters back into the deck. And once we get to that sarcophagus, you'll see why that might be a little bit important. And going on to the final monster, again, I have no idea how to pronounce his name, so I do apologize for that, is Aegis of Hours. It's an Earth, level 8, 2500 attack, 2000 defense, winged beast effect monster. You can only special summon this card's name with its first effect once per turn. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. If you control Pharaonic Sarcophagus, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. If another cards you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect while you control this monster, you can activate this effect. This turn, your opponent's monsters cannot target Hours monsters on the field for attacks. Also, your opponent cannot target them with card effects. So I think this is an alright effect. There's a little bit of protection right there, and I don't really have too much to say about this. Like, what just really catches my eye is that each of them can be special summoned from the graveyards while you have that sarcophagus on your field. And this just gives the protection of that can't be targeted for attack. So if you control nothing but Hours monsters, your opponent can't even attack any of them. And also they cannot be targeted with card effects. So if you were to activate things like Impermanence, it's not going to work, or Effect Veiler. So that's really cool. But getting into the bread and butter of this archetype, we got Pharaonic Sarcophagus, and I kid you not, I did not even notice this effect, the first half of this effect, until like I was editing this video. It's a continuous spell card, and this effect reads, you can only use the second effect of this card's name up to 4 times per turn. I did not even notice that. Hours monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects unless they target them. The second effect, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, send 1 Hours monster from your deck to the graveyard. once per turn at the start of the damage step. If an Hours monster battles an opponent's monster, you could send that opponent's monster to the graveyard. This card is insane because of the allowing you to just basically just send 4 cards from your hand to the graveyard. You're going to be sending 4 Hours monsters from your deck to the graveyard, assuming that you're actually going to send 4. You're just going to send 1 Hours in your hand and then send the other one from your deck to the graveyard. You have that accessibility for 4 times each turn. And that's just like, what? I did not even notice that. And that card is just crazy. But let's go into the last card we have a Canopic Protector. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a continuous trap card. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. Once per chain, when an opponent's monster activates, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can special summon 1 Hours monster from your hand or graveyard. And if you do this turn, you cannot special summon another monster with the same original name with the effect of Canopic Protector. If this card is sent from your hand or field to the graveyard, you can set it but banish it when it leaves the field. So kind of it's an easy way to turbo out your Hours monsters from the hand or graveyard, and that's okay. It's not like, groundbreaking or anything like that compared to the last 5 cards, but it's kind of interesting. And I don't know like how, if you're actually gonna be playing this or you're gonna be even using this archetype as an engine. Like, I see this entire archetype being kind of maybe used as an engine. I mean, running 3 of the Searcher, probably. I'm not entirely sure like what are the ratios are going to be for this, because this has some potential right there, and it's generic rank 8 like engine going on, because all of them are level 8s. There is no banishing them when they go to leave the field to the grave or anything like that, and there's no restrictions on them like saying you can only special summon Hours monsters the turn you activate this effect or anything like that. And I think that's actually pretty cool. That's actually kind of vital, because a lot of archetypes nowadays kind of lock you into doing things. So this is just like kind of free range level 8 special summonings, and a lot of them have pretty good stats. So that's actually pretty cool. And again, just that Sarcophagus being up to 4 times per turn is actually really cool. Now, the Copium that I was mentioning earlier is that I can kind of see this being mixed with Adotic. Now, I know this is like probably one of the biggest stretches out there, but I am like on that Copium train that this deck will actually get better when the new support gets announced. I think we're going to be getting new support in this set, because we got support for the Sofa Core like 2 sets ago, and then in Duelist Nexus we got Sartic. So this has to be like the Adotic set that we're beginning, and this mixes well with the boss monster being able to send all monsters on the field to the graveyard except monster special summon from the graveyard, and with each of them being able to special themselves from the graveyard. And the big snakes are level 8s as well, so it could mix and match with them possibly, and it's also tribute fodder as well if you need to do that. But again, it's the Copium in me. I'm kind of holding out that they will actually kind of mix with them, and maybe I'm just trying to find a way to make this deck actually work until we get some new cards announced in the set, hopefully. So that's just my thoughts on that one. But yeah, this is actually a really cool and interesting archetype. I like the dynamic of it. I like the level 8 special summonings from the graveyard. And again, that Sarcophagus up to 4 times per turn. I didn't even notice that on my first read. And it's just really interesting. I'm curious to see what people are going to come up with this archetype, and what kind of rarities they're going to be in the TCG, because I have absolutely no idea. Are they going to make the Sarcophagus an ultra rare and the Searcher secret? Who knows? Or the other way around? Or are they all secrets? I don't know. But it's going to be really interesting to see. And I'm very curious to what you guys think about this archetype, or these cards. I guess we can call it archetype. Ours is like a generic archetype kind of. But yeah, I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. What would you want to be playing this? And what kind of would you want to play it as an engine? Or would you actually try to play this as a full-on deck? I can see this being as an engine, but who knows? Maybe we'll get even more support down the line. And I don't know. I like it. It's cool, unique, and the artwork just looks very nice. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. That's my thoughts and opinions, and I'm very curious to read your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. So be sure to comment what you guys think about these, and again, let me know.